Today's topic is kernel and image of linear mapping or linear transformation. So this is our today's topic, and the definition says that maybe you are already familiar with the definition of kernel when you were studying rings and fields, or maybe in other subjects. What is kernel? For example, if we have said that f is a linear transformation from the vector space V to the vector space U, then we say that kernel of f is such a set which contains those elements of the vector space V which maps into the zero vector of the vector space U. How? You can see here over in this bracket. For example, if I take an element V from here, and when I operate the mapping f on it, the linear transformation f on it, and that vector V, which is actually a non-zero vector, maybe zero vector or whatever vector, that vector is mapped on the zero vector in the set U. Similarly, I tried this for other elements, and all those elements which are mapped by this mapping, by this linear transformation into the zero vector of U, then we say that the set of all such elements of V is called the kernel of F. So you can see that kernel F, this contains all those elements of the set V which are mapped on the zero vector of the set U. So this is how we define the kernel F. This was our first definition which we are studying in today's topic, and the second definition is the image or range of a linear transformation F. So what is the image of f or the range of f? Of course, it is similar to the image of, for example, a set. You know the image, for example, we have studied in our previous lecture that if we have a set, for example, A, then image of A is actually the set of all those elements in the set B, which is the second set, and the mapping is from A to B. Then it is the image of B. A is the set of all those elements in B which are the images of some elements of A. So it's in a similar way. For example, if I have a mapping F from V to U, then image of F is the set of all those elements of U for which there exists some element in the first set which are mapped from by the linear transformation f on the elements of U. I should explain it over here in a separate sheet so that you can understand easily. I say that image of f, it will contain those elements of U which we obtain as a result of operating f on some element V. Okay, and there exists some element V for that. So this is how we define the image of f. See, it consists of all those elements of U which is obtained by operating a mapping f on some element of V, and we obtain that U. So such collection of such U's is called the image of f. So these are two definitions which we will be using in our upcoming theorem, this one 5.3. But note that before starting that theorem, note that kernel f is always made by the elements of V, image f is always made by the elements of U. This is how you should memorize, what you should memorize. And now we are coming to the theorem. So but before learning the statement of theorem, or before going to the proof, I should recall you what is spanning. Spanning of a vector space. You already have studied this, but let me recall you this for today's lecture. For example, if I say that I have W1, W2, W3, and similarly up to Wm elements that belongs to I say that these elements span a vector space V. These elements span a vector space V. Then this statement means that every element of this vector space will be made by the linear combination of all these elements. This is how we define spanning of a vector space from bases. So for example, if I take an element small v from this capital V, and if my claim is that these elements span V, then every element from here will be spanned by these elements by the linear combination of this. How? For example, I take small v from this vector space V. Now this small v can be written as the linear combination of all those above elements, A1 W1 plus A2 W2 plus up to AM WM, and where A1 up to AM are the elements of the scalar field K. So this is how we define spanning. Now coming to our theorem, the statement of the theorem is, let F from V to U be a linear transformation. Then they want us to prove that the kernel F is the subspace of V. And for example, if I have a mapping, then say that this kernel F, which we have defined here, this is also a subspace of the vector space V, and image of F is the subspace of U. They want us to prove this. They want two proofs from us to prove that kernel F is the subspace of V and image F is the subspace of U. So this is very simple to prove this. So the first part of the theorem, like they want us to prove that kernel of F is a subspace of V. This is very simple, 3 to 4 steps proof, and you should do it by yourself. This is kind of your exercise. I have written this in my in the file of exercise for today. And the second part says, let me prove that. That says that we want to prove the image of F is a subspace of U. Okay, if I want to prove that image F is the subspace of U, then this should be very clear that image F contains exactly the elements of U. We have discussed this in our definitions before, that the set of image F will contains all the elements from U that should have this property. Like it will be the images of some elements of V. Now if I am able to prove that like V1, V2 and Vm are all those elements which spans the set V, and if I am able to prove that f of Vm, f of V2, V1, V2 up to f of Vm, these elements spans the set U, then this is clear that image F is the subspace of U. I mean this condition that f of V1, f of V2 up to f of Vm, this spans image of F, this condition is sufficient to prove that image F is a subspace of U. So to prove this condition, this is my target. Starting from the proof, suppose I consider that V1, V2 up to Vm are all those vectors which spans the vector space V. What does it mean? I already explained that every element of the vector V will be in the form of linear combination of these elements. Okay, suppose these span V and F is a linear mapping, then we will show that f V1 and f of V2 up to f of Vm, these elements span image of F. And if we are able to prove this, then we are done with our required result that says that image of F is subspace of U. So let's start proving this. We say that let U belong to image F. If U belong to image F, then by definition f of V is equal to U, and because Vi spans all the elements of V, therefore this V, which is the pre-image of U, is spanned by these elements by its linear combination. It is made by the linear combination of V1 to Vm. Now we can write that U is equal to, here from this, U is equal to f of V, U is equal to f of V if at its own place, and V is equal to these because this is spanned by V1 to Vm elements. So this is like this, and applying the two conditions of the linear transformation, it becomes like this. And now I can see that U has been written in the form of the linear combination of the elements f1, fv1, fv2, fvm. So if U is spanned by the linear combination of this, I mean V is spanned by fv1, fv2 up to fvm. This means that U is actually spanned by all these elements fv1, fv2, fvm. So if U is proved to be spanned by fv1, fv2 and fvm, This implies that, but we can see that U is a random element of the image F. It is an arbitrary element. It means that every element of from here, if U can be, then every element of the image of F can be spanned or can be written in the form of the linear combination of elements of F. And if it is so that I say that every element of image F is spanned by Fv1, Fv2 up to Fvm, and consequently we claim that the vector space vector spaces Fv1, Fv2, Fvm span the whole set image F. This was our proof. Thank you so much, and the rest we will be studying in our online class.